So we have the 600 horsepower TFG, 3-cylinder, free valve engine, combined with 600 Newton meters of torque. And we get augmentation by the 800 horsepower, 1,250 Newton meters dark matter e-motor.
Elon Musk had never seen such expressions on his face before. In 2025, when the whole world was waiting for Tesla's next announcement, something came from a different corner that shocked the entire EV industry. Koenigsegg, a name well known among supercar lovers, but what it did now made even a giant like Tesla think. Without any billboards, without any viral campaigns, and without any alerts, a power machine was introduced. An engine that, despite being a hybrid, produces a blast of 2,300 horsepower. An electric motor that you can carry in a bag on your back. And the fuel? A synthetic fuel that works like petrol, but without the toxic fumes. It wasn't just the launch of a car. It was an attack on the very idea of what we had considered the future until now. Has Tesla fallen behind? Is the electric dream now seeking new paths? Koenigsegg didn't just break the rules of engineering. They showed that an idea born in silence can make the biggest explosion. What Koenigsegg showed changed the rules of the game. And now, that engine is about to take the EV market by storm. But before that, to know the full story of this revolutionary engine, subscribe to our channel so you can get the biggest technology news first. If we talk about the two most passionate and different-thinking people in the world of technology and speed today, then the names that come to mind are Elon Musk and Christian von Koenigsegg. On one side is Elon Musk, who is taking the world towards battery-powered cars through Tesla. On the other side is Koenigsegg, who, with his small team, has done what big companies could not even think of for decades. The journey of these two was different, but today they are considered rivals of each other. Musk showed the world that electric cars can compete with supercars not only for the environment, but also in performance. But Koenigsegg chose a different path. He said, "What will happen if we combine the power of both electric and combustion?" And this is where the real competition begins. Elon Musk's focus is scale, selling millions of EVs around the world. On the other hand, Christian's thinking is perfection, making such cars in small numbers that break every technological limit. What Koenigsegg has done with its synthetic fuel engine and dark matter motor raises questions about Tesla's heavy battery model. Now the competition is not just about speed or sales, but about philosophy and future direction. Only time will tell who is right. But one thing is certain, that this battle between Musk and Koenigsegg has become one of the most interesting battles of innovation. If we don't challenge our own limits, technology will never advance. Were the words of Christian von Koenigsegg, the man who made the car not just a transport, but a moving example of art. When the electric revolution began, it seemed that humanity was about to write the most responsible chapter in its automotive history. It was promised that these vehicles would eliminate smog, end our dependence on petrol and diesel, and make cities breathable again. But as time passed, the shine of this revolution began to fade. Today we have EVs that weigh no less than tanks, whose batteries suck up the rarest minerals on Earth, and which feel more like driving a computer than a machine. That thrill, that drive, is lost somewhere. So the question arises, how did we get here? Where did the promise that Tesla made with its first Roadster go? At the time, it wasn't just a car, it was a rebellion. It was a manifesto that electric vehicles were not just eco-friendly, but sexy, and maybe even sportier. Elon Musk wasn't just selling cars back then, he was selling an entire future. His software, his charging network, and his statements, everything was a vision of a new auto world. The Model S redefined performance. The Model 3 opened the doors to EVs for the masses, and the Cybertruck proved that Tesla knows more about surprises than looks. His success wasn't a one-off story. Governments got on board, too. Europe announced a ban on petrol diesel cars by 2035. California, in the U.S., released its own deadline, and China transformed its entire auto sector with EV subsidies and policy. General Motors promised to go all-electric by 2035. Volvo, Ford, Mercedes all made big promises. It felt like we were on the cusp of a golden age. But as reality separated from the glamour, the picture started to look a little bleak. Let's first talk about range, the promise on which the foundation of electric vehicles was laid. The reality is that even today most EVs are able to cover less distance than a full tank of gas. And if you turn on the heater or AC in the car, or drive at high speed on the highway, the battery drops even faster. If it is cold weather, then understand that the charging indicator and your heart rate drop at the same rate. Now, let's talk about fast charging. Even though its name is fast, in reality, it still takes 20 to 30 minutes to reach 80% charge. And that's if you're lucky enough to find a charging station that's working, and not 4 cars in line. Behind all this lies the true burden of batteries, on the environment and on humanity. A single Tesla Model S battery requires more than 60 kilograms of lithium, cobalt, nickel, and other minerals. And these minerals are often mined in areas where the environment is being destroyed, or where children are forced to work in mines. Water consumption, land degradation, these are the costs of the green technology we've adopted without scrutiny. Then there's another reality of batteries: their weight. An average EV is hundreds of kilograms heavier than a petrol car. The result? Tires wear out faster, brakes overheat, and roads break down faster. Plus, the recycling system for batteries is still very weak, making their green image questionable. But the thing that has been overlooked the most is the soul. Yes, EVs are fast. They are quiet. They are smart, too. But where is the heartbeat that thrilled the heart while driving a car? The gear shift, the roar of the engine, the mechanical vibrations, all gone. Driving now feels like a digital screen, smooth but soulless. Maybe this is why many car lovers these days call EVs computers on 4 wheels, and they are not able to connect with these vehicles the way they do with a real machine. All the companies that have emerged to try to compete with Tesla have taken the same path: bigger batteries, even longer range, and a shiny screen that feels more like a smartphone than a car. Rimac Hyper EVs are fast, but feel like heavy machines that are rockets to maintain. Lucid has built tech-laden vehicles, but production and software complexities have kept them from taking off. Porsche's Taycan may be a masterpiece of engineering, but its massive battery makes it a kind of power finite. Every brand, every model is just repeating the same formula: big battery, long range, and showy design. Different names, same idea. And this is where Koenigsegg plays a completely different tune. Koenigsegg has never been the biggest selling company. It doesn't care about sales figures or social media trends. It has only one passion: making something the world has never seen before. While the entire auto industry was copying and pasting Tesla's playbook, in a quiet corner of Sweden, Koenigsegg was writing its own rules. No grand launches, no viral tweets, just a tiny factory, and ideas that pushed the boundaries of science. Remember when the Agera RS broke speed records? Or when the Regera stunned everyone by having no gearbox? And then came the Jesko, which redefined performance on the track. But nobody imagined what Koenigsegg was going to do next. A 4-seater hybrid car that would put even a Bugatti to shame. And the biggest bang of all? A motor small enough to fit in the hand, and powerful enough to change the meaning of electric propulsion. It's that motor, and the engine attached to it, that has really scared Elon Musk for the first time. The moment everything changed. Koenigsegg's shock engine reveal. In 2025, the automobile world witnessed a big explosion that no one had imagined. No press conference, no preview video, just one day, as if a storm had broken down the door, Koenigsegg presented a technology to the world that shook the entire industry. Christian von Koenigsegg introduced two revolutionary machines in one go that proved the technological strategy of companies like Tesla to be obsolete. The first machine was an engine powered by synthetic fuel, an engine that has the same power as conventional petrol engines, but is almost zero in terms of pollution. The second was an electric motor that was so small that it was lighter than your suitcase, but had so much power that it could blow an entire supercar off the ground. This motor weighed just 40 kilograms, but had power, 800 horsepower, and 1,250 newton-meters of torque. And this was not like a heavy dual-motor setup. All this was packed in a single unit. But the real magic lies in the design. Koenigsegg's Raxial Flux technology. This was not a conventional motor that rotated in one direction, but a combination of radial and axial flux that had only sounded good in theory until now. Koenigsegg put it into practice by adapting it to a six-phase architecture. The result? Better power distribution, balanced heat control, and consistent performance at all speeds. While the world was watching all this, Elon Musk forgot to blink. It was as if someone had pulled the ground out from under his feet. Koenigsegg had not just created a new motor, but set a new standard, one that would make the entire EV industry rethink its ways in the future. Now the question arises, is this motor really that small? So let us tell you a truth. When Koenigsegg first introduced it to the world inside its factory, Christian von Koenigsegg himself showed it by lifting it in both his hands. Yes, you are thinking right. This motor is so compact that you can hold it like a normal travel bag or carry-on backpack. But the power hidden inside it surpasses even the entire drivetrain of a full-size SUV. Usually, electric cars have a multi-motor setup to manage torque and power, which has a heavy software system that divides the power into several parts. But the dark matter motor completely eliminates this hassle. It is a single unit, which is directly connected to Koenigsegg's special torque converter and inverter system, meaning fewer parts, less chance of failure, and no wastage in power delivery. And most importantly, this real-time responding motor is as fast and precise as a racing driver's hands. The result? It's clear. No need to make a car heavy and complex for power anymore. Koenigsegg has tested this motor in its super hybrid Gemera, and the numbers have blown the industry's mind. Not only is it lighter than the old three-motor setup, it also beats it in terms of performance. But the real twist doesn't end there. You'd think that after such a powerful electric motor, the company would have gone full EV. But no, the next chapter of the story is even more surprising. What Koenigsegg has added to this is a quad-turbocharged combustion engine, which is not a piece of old technology, but a completely new invention. This engine runs on synthetic e-fuel, emits almost zero pollution, and puts out 1,500-plus horsepower on its own. This is no modified V8, but a brand-new engine designed in-house, new block, new valve technology, and an all-new turbocharger system designed from the ground up to be 100% compatible with electric technology. Now comes the e-fuel that powers this engine. This fuel is made by mixing captured carbon dioxide and hydrogen. When it burns, the amount of CO2 released is already drawn from the atmosphere. That means net emissions are zero. Companies like Porsche are experimenting with this, but Koenigsegg has outdone everyone here. Their engine is already designed for this fuel. And when it works with an electric dark matter motor, the result is an incredible hybrid system with 2,300 horsepower and 2,700 Newton-meters of torque. It's not just a car, it's a walking marvel of science, showing that the future isn't just electric or just combustion, but a perfect blend of both. This isn't just a fantasy on paper. These numbers are now reality. Koenigsegg's updated Gamera, now ready for production, can actually do things that only racetrack monsters could do before. Imagine a four-seater luxury grand tourer with cup holders, a big infotainment screen, and plenty of luggage space in the back. Yet it can outrun a Bugatti Chiron. And most astonishingly, all without a bulky battery pack. There's no stress over range, no need to waste half an hour waiting at a charging station. And the car doesn't rely on a global supply chain for lithium. That's the beauty of it. Without fanfare, without glitzy launch events, Koenigsegg has redefined the game. No events, no social media hype, just a new spec sheet quietly updated on the website one day. And that's where the big bang started. The engineering world perked up. Even EV industry veterans and tech journalists were stunned. People started asking questions. How is this possible? And the real magic comes when you dig deeper into the design. Because a smaller, lighter motor means better weight balance, better driving dynamics, and less tire wear. Not only does this make the car more efficient, but it also has a sharper, more precise road feel. It's like the domino effect of technology. One advantage leads to another. Now let's talk about something that other companies have either abandoned or are reluctantly pursuing: the combustion engine. But Koenigsegg has revolutionized this too. They've created an all-new quad-turbo V8 engine, not only designed in-house, but tuned to run on synthetic e-fuel from day one. And it's not just powerful, it's environmentally responsible too. The engine runs on synthetic fuel made from captured carbon and green hydrogen, resulting in near-zero overall emissions. This isn't just a tech showcase, it's a bold move to redefine sustainability. Until now, the world was told that battery-powered cars were the only way to go if we wanted a future. But there were compromises. Bulky batteries, dependence on charging infrastructure, and limitations on scarce raw materials. Koenigsegg has challenged this thinking. Their hybrid setup opens a new path, where lightweight design, smart combustion engines, and sustainable fuels combine to create a system that's not just fast, but also sustainable. So it's even more significant that this feat isn't being achieved by a Tesla or Toyota, but by a small, independent brand, not owned by any major automobile company. Koenigsegg does everything in-house: carbon fiber bodies, 3D printed titanium exhausts, and uses technologies that other companies have only seen in research labs until now. Because they have full control, no board meetings, no corporate constraints, they can take risks quickly and try things other companies are afraid to consider. This isn't just a new engine, it's a revolution in thinking. And the results are showing immediately. From engineering forums to global performance car blogs, questions are being raised. Why are we still stuck with bulky batteries and dual-motor setups? Why haven't we looked at scalable e-fuel hybrids all these years? These questions are being raised even in places where battery electric was considered the ultimate truth until now. Koenigsegg didn't just create a new powertrain, they punched a hole in an old mindset. They showed how a lack of imagination and sticking to old investments can stifle innovation. The auto industry has poured billions of dollars down the same path for decades. But now that 2025 is on the doorstep, this new reality has become impossible to ignore. A four-seater family car that outperforms hypercars. A motor that fits in a backpack but has the power of a jet engine. An engine that not only burns clean but also delivers rocket-like performance with a hybrid system. And all this comes from a factory that probably employs fewer people than some brands' marketing departments. What makes Koenigsegg different? The engineering nobody else can copy. Koenigsegg doesn't just make cars, it's a thought, a vision that challenges the norms of the entire automotive industry. Their real strength lies not in any engine or body design, but in the freedom with which they work. They are neither bound by the shackles of an old system nor the limitations of a corporate board. They don't rely on any external supplier, nor do they hold back work on the pretext of a 6-month delivery date. For them, we do it ourselves is not just a policy, it's a practice, in every part, every technology, every decision. While the world has gotten used to shortcuts, Koenigsegg avoids every turn that other companies find convenient. Perhaps this is why giants like Tesla, Bugatti, or Ferrari have not been able to reach their level. Because Koenigsegg doesn't read other brands' books, it writes its own book. Now, let's talk about the technology that makes this thinking even more concrete. Free valve technology. While other automakers control valves with camshafts and belts, Koenigsegg said goodbye to all those old methods. Free valve means the engine can shut off any cylinder at any time, open valves early or late, and even skip an entire cycle, all without any mechanical limitation. It's like giving the engine the power to think. And while the big automakers are still experimenting with variable valve timing, Koenigsegg has been driving it on the road for years, literally. That's the difference between idea and execution. Then comes the Regera's direct drive technology. A conventional car has a multi-gear transmission, heavy, complex, and energy-consuming. But Koenigsegg thought, what if we just eliminate the gearbox? And they did it. The Regera has no gear shifts, no transmission legs. Instead, a hydraulic coupling is used to connect the engine directly to the wheels, which are supported by electric motors. The result? Acceleration you don't feel. You just fly. No jolts, no shifts, just raw, instant power. And when there are fewer parts, there's less chance of failure. Many experts previously dismissed it as good in theory, but Koenigsegg has brought that theory to life. That's their real magic. Where other companies think, Koenigsegg makes it a reality. But Koenigsegg didn't stop there. They did what they always do, push the limits even further. Their latest technology, LSTT, Light-Speed Tourbillon Transmission, actually gives a new lease of life to conventional transmission systems. Most high-performance cars use dual-clutch systems, which are fast but also heavy and complex. Koenigsegg solved this problem with a multi-clutch system that's cleverly arranged. The advantage? You can go straight from third to sixth gear, without the interruption of fourth or fifth. The LSTT is not only light, but its response is so quick that the gear shifts are almost imperceptible. And this transmission doesn't just work alone, it communicates with the other systems of the entire car in a way that's like the body connecting to the mind. This is Koenigsegg's signature control, an experience that's hard to describe in words. This philosophy is reflected in everything they do. While other companies outsource carbon fiber manufacturing, Koenigsegg weaves the fibers in-house, controlling everything from the weave pattern to the quality of the resin and the curing process. Because they know, sometimes even a gram less weight can win a race. Titanium exhaust? Other brands buy it. Koenigsegg 3D prints it in-house, Why? Because the purpose of every part is not just to function, it must reach a level of excellence. And if something doesn't make the car better, it doesn't get made. That's the difference between Koenigsegg and Tesla. Tesla's goal is to ship millions of cars around the world. Supply chain, cost, and scalability matter to them. They are experts in software, battery management, and production technology. But Koenigsegg is not out to conquer a market, but to break the boundaries of engineering. They're out to see how high technology can go when it's not bound by convention. That's why every innovation of his feels like a work of art, not a machine. He comes from a world where things are handmade, and quality, not quantity, rules. And now we're back to the dark matter motor. When Koenigsegg engineers looked at conventional electric motors, they asked a simple question. Why do we need 3 motors if a single motor can do the same job with a better design? While the world had been using 3-phase motors for decades, Koenigsegg broke away from that and developed 6-phase radial flux technology, combining both radial and axial flux designs in one compact unit. This wasn't a minor improvement. It was a new direction. What did this technology change? More torque, less heat, better efficiency than ever before. And because the motor is so small, its size opens up new design possibilities. Possibilities that other companies can only dream of. The magic of the dark matter motor lies not just in its small size, it lies in the intelligence that goes into it. This is no ordinary motor, but a system that coordinates so precisely with Koenigsegg's in-house torque converter and inverter that energy waste is minimal. It can perform torque vectoring. That is, it manages the power distribution itself, without the need for an extra motor. That means fewer parts, less weight, and less complexity. And most importantly, it works so precisely that with every turn, every acceleration, the car's connection with the driver is not lost, but strengthened. Most electric vehicles fall into the same trap. They are fast, but they lack that passion. There is performance, but no soul. But the dark matter motor fills that void. Its torque is strong and palpable. It doesn't feel artificial. It feels like there is a dialogue between the car and the human. Now when you add Koenigsegg's new synthetic fuel engine, it's not just a technology, it's a philosophy. This isn't a conventional gasoline engine that's been forced on us. It's purpose-built to run on fuel made from captured CO2 and renewable energy. That is, this engine represents a time when combustion can be sustainable, without the need for minerals like lithium, cobalt, or nickel. And most importantly, this engine isn't built for nostalgia, but to prove that combustion technology isn't dead, it just needs to be rethought. It still has the heat, the throttle response, the sound that makes driving worth living. When the two, the dark matter motor and the synthetic engine, combine, you've got a system that doesn't just compete with electric cars, but calls their entire philosophy into question. Is range anxiety necessary? Can't performance be achieved without a big battery pack? Does every EV have to be heavy and sluggish? Koenigsegg's answer is no. They've proven that performance and the environment aren't enemies. They've shown that you can combine the best of both combustion and electric vehicles to make a great car without any compromise. And now the real question is, if a small team like Koenigsegg can revolutionize everything in a limited factory, what are the giants doing with billions of dollars and thousands of engineers? Have they never tried? Or are they trapped by their own limitations? Koenigsegg's vision is a challenge to not just Tesla, but to every company that has chosen the path of least resistance. It's a reminder that real progress is only possible when you have the courage to rip up the rule book. What happens now? Is this the beginning of the end for electric cars? We want to make cars human again. Christian von Koenigsegg's idea is now haunting the entire auto industry. While other companies are stuck with big batteries and heavy EV designs, Koenigsegg has offered a light, smart, and sustainable alternative. While brands like Tesla rely on batteries weighing hundreds of kilograms for range, Koenigsegg has combined synthetic fuel and a compact electric motor to create a